What color would you like your PlayStation case to be if you go to order an aftermarket version?
Black.
Yeah.
Black is best.
Maybe grey.
Or good.
Is
Bug
it like
snacks
the
gray?
grey colour of the original PlayStation?
Ooh, the gray.
OG
Oh
PlayStation
yeah,
gray.
yeah. Vintage PlayStation gray. That'd be
That's
cool.
nice. I like that.
I would like, the OG PlayStation logo in color and the colored buttons would be a nice touch for this. I don't know why they just.
We are
whoever made
live,
that decision,
gentlemen.
I disagree.
We're officially
But
live.
it's a good thing that Evan was just caressing his DualSense controller.
Now he's
Evan, would you
tickling
like to
the
take us through
console.
the roller coaster of emotions that you've gone through in not getting and then getting your PlayStation 5?
I suppose very quickly, I figured it would be at least. I resigned myself to 2022 at that point, and I was at work, and I often will look at my messages in between classes. So I have 10 minutes to get ready. Just kind of look at my messages and put my phone down, and I looked, and what I thought Her Majesty had written was, "Oh, I applied for another raffle." I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks, babe." Put it down, and then I left for class, and then later she's like, "Oh, like this is the one you wanted, right?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, you didn't apply, you won." I'm like, "You won?" It didn't seem. It was really one of those ridiculous, like, it doesn't seem real things. She's like, "Oh, it's coming tomorrow." It's like, tomorrow? Like, wait, you're in Tokyo, so I'm by myself all weekend. It's coming tomorrow. The Packers beat the Cardinals.
Luckily,
I was like,
the guy didn't turn around. If he turned around, that was a touchdown.
Spoken like a true Bears fan. I mean, they played better than. Also, Aaron Jones got a touchdown, and they said it was a touchdown, and they reviewed it and overturned it.
Because it wasn't a touchdown. Because when you look at the tape side by side, you can see when his knee's down and where the ball was, because cameras can time each other to be at the exact same time, and the ball didn't cross the plane. It's plain and simple. They just didn't show it on the broadcast.
You're a Bears fan.
Blame it on the
You're a Bears fan.
broadcasters. They didn't show it to you because they didn't want to lie. They didn't want you to make you. They want you to feel that way. Yeah.
I'd like to point out that Evan technically didn't get the PlayStation 5.
His wife did.
Actually, I did.
Your wife did.
Yeah.
So technically, you never got a PlayStation 5.
You know what? She paid
she-
by credit card, so actually, I haven't paid her back yet, so it is hers. I just opened her Amazon box and just started using something that was.
I was gonna
that
say
she ordered.
she's letting you use it.
That's hilarious.
Evan, have you let Her Majesty use her PlayStation 5 yet?
You stop pressing that controller, man. It's gonna get all your germs on Her Majesty's controller.
Yeah, the first thing I did is get a giant bag of red hot Cheetos, and I ate it while I was like, hopefully it turns this controller a nice Liverpool or red. The more I play it, but no, she gets home tomorrow. I'll show her Astro's Playroom. But yeah, it was a roller coaster. I still can't believe I have one. It's almost been a year of trying pretty much every single week in a raffle. So of course, the one who tried raffles almost every 40 raffles or something, I didn't get it. I never won a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
She tried 3 and she got it on her 3rd try. But anyways, yeah.
Seems
Seems
like she's more lucky than you.
Yeah, I'm not a
The
very lucky
raffles
person.
know who
so,
the expats are.
I guess so, yeah.
Life of
It's
a
like
Packers
COD.
fan, I guess, right? You're so unlucky.
Yeah.
Which, Evan, for the record, I forgot to tell you, Coach Matt Nagy has COVID, so he's not coaching this weekend. So if the Bears score 40 points, they might have justification for firing him because the offense runs efficiently when he doesn't coach.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm
Anyway.
looking forward to watching a
Evan,
football
shut-
weekend.
Evan, shut up. We are Pixel Points. Hello, thank you for listening to that rambling bullshit about Evan's trials and tribulations of not getting a PlayStation 5. You can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, on Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere, thanks to Anchor. And you can even listen to us on Anchor. You can find us every week live on twitch.tv/pixelpints, and you can see all of our episodes archived on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search for Pixelpints. If you want to see what we're doing in between times, you can follow us on Twitter at pixel_pints, and you can follow, well, basically me on Instagram at pixelpintspod. Thank you for listening so far. For those of you listening, I'd just like to describe Evan briefly. 1970s porn star look.
That's exactly what I said.
Sunglasses indoors and a proud tash that he's wearing.
Took me all month to grow it.
Well, you should have done it. Should have done it
believe?
for Movember for Men's Health.
Yeah.
Are you gonna shave it off after you're done with your costume?
I mean, I personally don't mind it, but my wife is
Her Majesty.
counting down the days till this thing gets shaved off. She hates it.
I bet she'll ask, "Can I shave it?"
I don't know if I'd let her.
Well, you
She'd
can say,
probably
if you give me the PlayStation 5, I will shave this off.
That was the plan all along. That's why I started growing it out at the end of September.
That's why she probably was like,
Things are,
"Damn, the raffle came the time he's not. I'm gone for the weekend. I can't negotiate with my PlayStation 5 and go shave it."
Actually, I'm actually in disguise. Wait, my brother's calling me. You guys can continue with the show. I'll be back.
Okay, Mitch, how are things in LA?
LA is LA. I'm just happy I got for people who don't know, is the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, and you can go to Steam right now and buy every single Tomb Raider game that's ever existed on the face of this planet, including the mobile ones, and most of them are for 97 cents. And so I bought all the old games, including the bad ones, and I spent $8. It was wonderful.
You should just buy all of the older ones and not buy the new ones.
I already have the new
Square
ones.
Enix makes a game like the old ones.
Nah, I have the new ones, so I don't need to buy them. But I did want the old ones
Exactly.
because
Everybody has the new ones.
yeah, I just bought the old ones because I do have PlayStation 1 copies and PlayStation 2 copies of most of these games. But I know obviously discs can scratch, and so on PC it's forever. So I'm okay with doing it.
Also, they're like super easy on PC compared to on the original consoles.
Yeah,
Because you can save anywhere in the game.
true.
You have to find the save crystals.
Well, I guess it's only the save crystals are only in 1 and 3. 2 you can save anywhere. And even in even in 3, you can still save anywhere. It's just like the only issue is it's like Resident Evil that you have to have a crystal to use to save, but you can save anywhere. Only in one do they have save crystals in certain locations that you do have to make a save. So actually, post this show, I will be streaming the original Tomb Raider here on Pixel Pints. So some of the fellas might stay if they want to chat while I play the original, and they can see me play the original and see how good I am because I've played it multiple times. And so I already did the first level for fun, and I got through in 7 minutes and 27 seconds, and I bet I could beat that time. So, oh my god. Oh my
Okay, for those of you listening now, Evan's gone away, put on some overalls, white gloves, and quite possibly the ugliest headwear in human history.
Yeah, there's no crown on that, right?
Good.
No King Henry on that.
It's Luigi. I'm Luigi.
Well done.
From Luigi's Mansion.
Well done. That's great.
Why not Waluigi? I mean, disrespect.
Wow.
Because it's Green Bay
I
Packers.
don't have any yellow hats or yellow shirts.
Right, Matt, how are things in Las Vegas?
Oh, not too bad.
Matt, before you go, I just want to work with you for a second. Just me and you, lock in.
Okay. All right.
Can you repeat after me, please? Cara. Mel.
Mel.
Eyes.
Eyes.
Oh.
Instead
Say
of
it all together now.
caramelized.
Caramelized.
No, it's caramelized.
There's 2 fucking A's in that word.
Fuck me.
Caramelized.
We were at the grocery store, and I was looking at my phone, and I just started laughing. And my wife, while she was picking out eggs, and she's like, "What? What's so funny?" And I was like, Keith's lecturing me on how to speak the King's English."
So, other than you not being able to pronounce caramelized correctly, how are you? How are things in Las Vegas?
Can you say that again? I need to hear it again because I can't believe it.
Caramelized.
Caramelized.
No. You got to say the wrong version.
Caramelized.
No, I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know how to say it wrong now.
Is it for you guys? Is it your equivalent to the word moist? Like
no, it's just I just like abusing Matt.
People in the U.S. find the word moist as like a really uncomfortable word to hear. I don't know why. So for all you people, I will not say it anymore today. But I love how we have the King's English and Her Majesty's Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, technically it's the Queen's English, but I was trying to make a joke. Anyway, no, I'm doing all right. Vegas is cooling down finally, and we're getting a contractor out here to take a look at our fence. So I might be getting a new fence after the show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fencing. Good fences make good neighbours.
Yeah, indeed.
Liam, how's things with you?
Yeah, good man. Not that much going on with me at the minute, but I just bought Resident Evil Village, so I can start playing that soon.
Nice.
Enjoy.
And Evan, you picked up Her Majesty won, and then has not yet gifted you a PlayStation 5 at a really good time, because there's no games coming out for about 4 months.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to play all my old PlayStation 4 stuff. Luckily, the transferring was quite easy. It was over in about maybe 30-40 minutes, so just gonna check off boxes on PlayStation 4 library. Streets of Rage 4 is next, so I'm looking forward to that.
Wait, you're not gonna play any of the post-release PlayStation 5 games already, like Dark Souls, like Demon Souls, Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank.
Miles Morales, yes. Ratchet and Clank, yes.
Okay,
Well,
so he's got plenty of games to play.
Kena or whatever.
Kena.
Looks pretty. Yeah, Kena.
Yeah, that's why it's a fortuitous time for him, because he's got all the stuff that they've released, because they're not releasing anything for about
actually,
months.
to be honest, to tell you the truth, fellas, my other roommate moved back into my apartment, and so technically we do have a PlayStation 5 in the house that I can use now. So, and he has been very adamant about being like, buy games, play it, because he does play it. He actually just was playing Kena on his PlayStation 5, and it looks really good.
Right, and I am back. It is the return of the Mac Womble. Return of the Mac Womble.
No, it's Return of the Mick Womble.
Yeah.
How are you, Keith?
I'm very, very stressed out and tired. And we're going to be homeless in 2.5 weeks, and we've still not found someone to live. So that's good.
But at least you got rid of that freaking house.
Yeah. So this week, before we get home, we're just about to transition into beers, but this week is my monthly arbitrary news wrap-up. So if anyone has any beers they want to talk about, I'm just going to go and get my sheets.
Okay. Does anybody have a beer?
I had a pretty nice beer last night.
If you don't have a visual, I was gonna say, if you don't have a visual picture, it doesn't count.
I do have a picture. I didn't post it for whatever reason. I don't know why I didn't post it, but if you guys can see that.
Yep, you're good. You're good. Right there.
Yeah,
Stop.
Anchor Brewing. So they do Anchor Steam, Anchor Liberty. They're one of the oldest craft breweries in the U.S. The Anchor Steam, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast before, but steam beer in the United States, that formula is a pre-prohibition formula. So prohibition totally just desecrated the brewing industry here in America, and they all went back to lagers, but we did have styles that were born here in the United States. Steam beer is one of them, and commons, California common and Kentucky common. So anyway, Anchor does a steam beer that's technically a pre-prohibition formula. I love that beer. The one that I picked up last night was their hazy IPA. So everybody's doing hazy IPAs these days. Kind of tropical and fruity, but also has the same same malty hints as their steam beer. So I'm the only one that didn't come with a costume. I'm really
Oh my god.
Anyway, it was a really good beer. I enjoyed it last night.
For audio listeners, Keith has returned. As was what? I have no idea. I don't know if he's trying. I don't know if he's trying to like look smart in Halloween style, which is like he has a suit and tie.
It's the Halloween-related Quizmaster.
The
One day you
Halloween
said I should be
adjacent.
Quizmaster with a shirt and tie on, so I thought I'd do it.
Except you have to speak in the most nerdy voice possible, like a Marvel villain.
Well, actually, some of the questions that I'm going to ask will have some interesting tonal notes to them.
Any
Are we
other
talking-
beers?
Yes, I have a couple of beers.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm currently drinking Wild Beer
Grapefruit session
Peel
IPA.
Breaker Grapefruit Session IPA, which I thought it came in my random box, so I thought I'd give it a go. It's actually not very grapefruit tasting, which is probably why I'm enjoying it more than I thought I was going to. It's mainly fruity on the nose, but not on the palate. So what have we got? Matt, these guys do a really nice. Well, actually, you'd like it. It's Birkhoff juice.
It's a milk stout.
And no, it's a nitro stout.
Oh, okay. Well, close.
Yeah, so if you can find any of the other bits, I think you'd really enjoy them. It's 4.7 ABV, and it's quite easily drinkable. I wouldn't want a pint of it. It's too citrusy to want more than just 330 mils. But after that, I have, changing things up a bit, the White Hag Session Red Ale
Interesting.
from the Irish Brewing Company. So looking forward to that. And if you guys are really annoying me and I need to open another beer, I have the Washington State IPA which is a collaboration from Gypsy Hill and Yakima Chief Hops.
Now, is that brewed in England?
Yes,
Interesting.
brewed especially for Waitrose.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting. They call it the Washington State. Maybe
Yeah,
they,
that's what I was thinking.
They use American
Yeah.
hops, that's why.
So yeah,
Okay.
interestingly enough, I think Washington grows 80% of all the hops used in America, and all
Doesn't
the
surprise me.
breweries.
Just-
Yeah,
Just like the perfect climate for it, right
Yeah, I
on the
think-
coast there. Or...
I think the other 20 or 15% is probably Wisconsin or Midwest somewhere.
Yeah, when they're not growing
I don't know
cabbage
if we grow
in
hops.
Wisconsin.
When
I don't think
they're-
they-
when they're not-
We
when-
grow lots of ginseng and cranberries, like huge export.
We grow a lot of milk.
Straight from the ground.
Hell yeah.
If you have a shovel, all you gotta do is one boot to the bottom of that shovel,
Mm.
push up that dirt, there goes the milk fountain. Comical and all, yeah, that's how it happens.
All right. Any other
Sorry.
beers?
Yeah, very quickly, I opened...
Oh, the other one.
last week...
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought on 2 beers, the Devil's Beer. One was a red session ale, and then there was this black one. And
Other way.
Mitch and
Other way.
You're
You're
sorry,
pointing in the
sorry.
wrong direction.
Sorry,
You were like
Mitch and
off
Burkhoff
camera,
was-
and I was like, "What are you doing?"
very off camera. Mitch and Burkhoff opted for the red one. I had them choose. So this is the second one. This is an American Black Ale, 5%. And I've been drinking it. It's okay. I think last week I actually really liked that Red Session IPA. I talked it up a bit, and this is okay. It's a bit it's like a decent aroma. It's a bit sweet, but there's not a lot going on throughout the beer, and it doesn't really like last on the tongue very much. So it's okay. Like it's definitely drinkable, but I'd only have one.
If you can find it, or you'd have to more than likely have to import it. The German and Union Brewing Company Black IPA is delicious.
Okay, I'll have to make a note of that. I don't know if I can type with these gloves on. Trackpad doesn't work.
He'll send you a picture on Discord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just use the wonder that he's good.
Wait. You got it.
Don't step out of character.
You got to do this.
Yeah, Luigi would never take
You're
off
not
his
doing
gloves.
a rectal exam, you weirdo.
I mean, Waluigi might.
All right.
Guigi might. You never know.
Let's cop to it, fellas. Keith,
Right.
quiz master. Master of quizzes, the master, the lords of lords, the his kings himself.
The Lord of Libations.
What accent was that?
The king of question marks.
Yeah, last week, I don't know if you guys were reading chat. I think I made Matt laugh briefly, but he meant, when you tried to do my voice, it was like, does Mitch think I'm German?
When was I doing your voice last week? I don't even remember.
I can't remember.
I was drinking at the time, so
right.
Yeah, blame it on
Mitch,
the alcohol.
Mitch, I'll start with you.
Okay.
So, what am I talking about here? Whose fans are looking to avenge a broken promise?
Fans are avenging a broken promise. I don't. It's something to do with Avengers, but I just don't know what it is.
Would anyone else? I thought you were going to get this one like that, honestly.
It's not Guardians, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Trying to think what else it would be.
Is this in regards to the XP boosters?
It is regarding the XP boosters that are
Okay.
purchasable in Marvel's The Avengers.
Oh,
Well done, Matt.
right. That's right.
So after Square Enix very proudly standing up on stage at E3 many years ago and giving and having their cheerleading squad in the crowd give them massive applause and woo, microtransactions, woo. It's only cosmetic. So they've broken that price. Well done.
Well, it didn't sell like they were hoping to, so what do you expect?
Well, I expect
I expect them to just take the game off of the market, stop making it.
Thank you.
Bin it. We're done.
Bennett. Start over.
Yeah.
Or
New-
here's a good idea. Make the game more fun to play.
No,
No,
it's
no,
impossible.
start over.
Just
It's
get
dead.
rid of it.
It's
Yep,
dead.
Done.
Count it as like the multiverse, and all of a sudden that multiverse doesn't exist anymore. Being like, oh, we killed off those Avengers. Here's your new Avengers. It plays just like Guardians of the Galaxy. There you go.
Yeah, Liam comes in with logic and said, "No, just kill it."
No. Dead on arrival. DOA.
Is this the last ditch attempt to try and keep this game alive, or is it's done, isn't it?
Well,
don't
that's
know.
Precisely a year ago.
well. The crazy part is
After launch.
the crazy part is they still have that Spiderman DLC they still have to put out. So like technically it's not over because
When is that coming out?
they cannot go back on that, because if they go back on that, there would be hell to pay, because like even worse is people bought specific version of that game on a specific console because of that. Like you can't just go back on that. I think after Spider-Man it's over. I think they're not going to try to
Well,
kick this can.
All 6 of those people still playing the game are going to be super pissed if they don't get Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. No,
yeah, I was gonna say those people deserve to be cheated out of Spider-Man.
has
They
the
bought that
has,
game day one.
has the Black Panther Wakanda expansion
Yeah,
already
that
happened?
got released
It's out.
two
Yep,
months
it's out.
ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's already
And it
out.
was relatively well received by critics. But it just fell into the same.
I thought that was going to be a standalone game. I was so excited, and I was like, "Oh, it's fucking DLC for Avengers." No,
Wow.
Well, you can tell that we really like that game. That's a Pixel Points seal of approval.
Well, I will tell you, I actually did try it. So, like, I've seen all the... I did try it on Game Pass, and I spent about an hour and 10 minutes, and then I was like, this is boring combat. Like, this is not fun.
So, Mitch,
I'm surprised you got through the opening sequence with Miss Marvel. That was so freaking trite and stupid.
Yeah. I see what... I know I get you.
Because I tried it.
I was
Mitch downloaded it. So.
I was giving it a very hard... the college try, and I really was going to be, okay, let me get to at least more than just Camilla Khan. And, crazier, if you don't know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Camilla Khan's powers have completely changed. They're making her have the abilities of a Green Lantern, then the ability to grow arms because they don't want to confuse her for Fantastic Four.
Interesting. I haven't read.
So now
Mr.
there's a poster. You'll
do
see
they
her
really
powers.
think that the public are that fucking stupid?
It's going to get some serious blowback. There's also some serious blowback on the casting on the show because they're not casting actual because she is
She's meant to be Arabic.
Yes, and they're not,
Yes.
and they're casting white people.
Marvelous. Well done.
So, anyway, yeah. What were you gonna say, Burkoff? You were saying something before I mentioned.
No one cares what Matt thinks.
right,
Mitch, what I was going to ask you is, so obviously you weren't in the room, but in the pitch meeting from Square Enix to Microsoft, how much money do you think Microsoft asked for from Square Enix to put that horrible piece of shit on Game Pass? Because I don't think if I was
it depends. It depends. We don't know how long it's on the service. That's a huge component of like how long is it on the servicer for? Because
if it was Mitch's streaming, would you have taken it and put it on your streaming service?
No, I wouldn't even touch it. I think it was more. I bet you, and this is a crazy mentality to think. I think Square Enix paid Microsoft to put it on Game Pass.
That's what I was getting at.
Because they need it. They need it for Guardians of the Galaxy. They wanted it as promotion to say, "Here's Avengers, here's Guardians. It's all in the same universe. We're creating our own. We're creating our Square Enix universe." And it's stupid.
Liam, do you have the actual answer?
I do have the actual answer. Microsoft said, we'll put it on Game Pass if you give us a contract to get Crystal Dynamics to work on Perfect Dark.
Oh,
okay, that's plausible.
No, I don't.
Because
I think it's funny.
Because our studio can't do it ourselves, that we've hyped for years over this massive studio we've created that's going to create the best games ever, and now we need help. It's like, okay.
Right.
Bad management.
Well done, Matt, for scoring on that question. Evan, one for you. Wee. Kotaku's such a steal. Me. What am I talking about there?
What are you talking about there?
So, without the baby language, can we get baby translation to proper Manglish?
Is this referring to Metroid Dread and the emulation of the Switch?
It is referring to Metroid Dread and the emulation, but more broadly, what is it about?
More broadly, I guess they came under fire for basically the writer advocating to illegally download Metroid Dread and play that, and then the article was they deleted that section of it and apologized for it.
They did an editor's adjustment to it.
Yes. Did they actually advocate pirating the game?
Of course they did.
Oh,
Uh,
of course.
Why?
I actually don't know. This is all grapevine stuff for me. I heard from several people. I don't know what they actually wrote.
In the original article, they did say that you can get a better version of the game by pirating it. Then they did a clickbait title of "It's okay to pirate Metroid Dread if you want a better version of the game." So yes, they did advocate pirating the game, but then they got blasted for advocating that you shouldn't pirate old Nintendo games as well. Which, frankly, screw Nintendo.
Especially after the streamings, after the online service went crap.
My God.
It's so horrible.
So you can get better versions of the games that are on the new subscription service by using emulation, and pay cents for it rather than an increase of $30 a year. Screw that.
Yeah, I've seen those.
You can actually
screenshots.
get some of
They
those
look terrible.
emulators running on a Xbox One if you wanted to, and it would run better.
And
Yeah,
some of the vitriol around this as well, and saying it's stealing money from Nintendo. No, you're confusing the situation. So if people were going to buy that or sign up to the subscription service, they will do that anyway. If people decide with their own to not pay Nintendo money to get a better version of the Nintendo product, that's them making an informed choice. It's not stealing from Nintendo, because Nintendo never had that money in the first place. You absolute children.
Yeah. Also, those people weren't really most likely going to buy the game anyways. I mean, that figures into it as well.
It's like PlayStation bringing their games to PC. Some of them will never buy a PlayStation to play some of these games. So you're literally opening yourself to a new market. It's like if you, the more, yeah. Anyway, I to be honest, so for people that don't know, Metroid Dread, if you put it undocked, it only runs at 900p, and it doesn't look very good. You probably want to play it handheld because it looks much better. But I'm shocked to see some of the images of like what it looks like emulated, because I'm like, wow, what a low bar they have for this console has for being able to do things.
Yeah, it's the fact that the people managed to crack the code, get it running on PC, and get it running in 4K within, what was it, a couple of days? No, it was before it got released. They got early code. They managed to get early code of the game and managed to get it running in 4K. So I'm really confused as to...
I mean, it's definitely a hardware issue for Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Switch can't.
The Switch can't do
Yeah,
it.
it just can't do that.
It's not the train.
It's like
they think it can't. It think it can't.
This always reminds me of every time Rafa will post a YouTube video of Breath of the Wild in like 120 FPS, 4K ray tracing. It like breaks my heart. I mean, like again, this is just stuff the Switch can't do. It just kind of sucks when you see what could be. Again, like Metroid Dread, whatever. I had a great time playing that game, and I don't have anything to compare it to while I'm playing it, so it didn't bother me per se, and neither did Breath of the Wild. But when you see those videos, you're just like, Nintendo, next time, can you just make something that's comparable to the other systems so that I can play this game to make it just look better? But yeah, it is disappointing.
Evan's going to end up in the back of that unmarked van again soon if he carries on talking like this. Liam, next to you. I think Mitch has already kind of smashed the nail on the head with this one. One more time. Where, Kratos. Where.
But Kratos.
You know this one,
think,
Liam.
Think about you
do you
know it.
do you
Think
not
about
do
all
you, are,
month.
are you like I didn't know if he was acting or not. Do you really not know?
No, I can't think of anything. No.
God of War's
It's
coming
the
to
boat-
PC.
Oh, is it that
Ah.
or the boat anime?
Wham,
Sorry.
No, it's
Uh,
wham wham because the fans are crying because Kratos is getting a PC version of his game.
Is correct.
That's the thing, though. I just don't even look for that shit. I just disengage from it. I do not give a shit about those whiny little bastards. It's just
The thing,
so
that,
pathetic.
the thing that confuses me is that some of the comments that came out, the logic was so backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So they were thinking that someone buying the game on PC, somehow the money wasn't going to go to Sony for them to spend on more Sony games. What the fuck are you thinking?
And plus, they're making these games now like more easily, compatible to be able to transfer to a PC. Like the more they're doing this, the easier it's going to be to do that. Which is the less money they have to spend to port it, which means more money goes to other things. Like it's just like, and then the whole point, it's like it's genius marketing from them. Like it is like. The game is 3 years old. If you have not played this game before, you're not going to play it because, to be honest, it is noted as in my regard, the greatest game ever made, and some of the best games of all time. And so, if you have not played it 3 years ago, you're not going to play it now. So
this is
there's
again,
no point.
like I was saying before, it's not a lost sale to Sony because someone's buying it.
Yeah. And then on top of
They're
that,
just buying it on a different platform.
guess what comes out in 5 months? Another God of War. So it basically says, buy this, you love it, buy a PS5 because you want to play the sequel, and it's right there. Like, that's genius marketing for them.
Or wait 3 years and we'll release it for you in 3 years and you can buy it then.
Exactly.
You know, I would love it if they just released the PC version of God of War Ragnarok day and date.
Nope.
I'd love it.
It'd never happen.
Never happen.
It'd never happen, but I would love it. I would soak it up every moment. Could you imagine just the fanboys losing their ever-loving minds? You know?
Oh, they'll lose their ever-loving minds on the PS5.
They'd be so annoyed that they'd probably become Nintendo fanboys instead. You know?
It's
okay. So
the only reason
we realize that. Go ahead, Mitch.
No, go. Because you got Lil Mix in the background, and I love Lil Mix.
We've established that Liam is not. He's strictly talking about wanting to see the world burn. Is the only reason why he wants to see it. Ragnarok day and day. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
absolutely.
I can appreciate that.
I'd love every minute of
it. I kind of would love to see the discourse around that. Just from the outside looking in.
Yeah. I don't think it would happen, and I don't think it would be a smart business decision.
I was gonna say,
I'd love to see it.
I was gonna say, as much as I would love to see it as well, it's just like that's basically asking Sony to like give up a lot of money for no reason, because they're basically like saying you don't have to buy a PS5, which Microsoft can do that because they have other instances that can support them because they're not making any money right now, which is fine. Asking for Microsoft, Bill Gates' daddy's money, that's all.
Yeah, I just those two stories were the whiniest, most entitled, privileged arguments that I can probably think of this for a long time, actually. Well, actually, since Horizon Zero Dawn went to PC, the same whiny bastards chimed in then. Get over yourselves. So
I love that Shuhei Yoshida posted that pic of him holding the Steam Deck with Horizon running.
Yeah.
I was gonna say also, I think the outrage would be justified if you're like a fan and like say they did this instead, like not what they're doing right now. What they're doing is no justification for being all pissy and moany about it. But like say they did do what Liam wanted, which was announcing it for both PC day and date with the console, and I just bought myself a $500 console and I already have a PC next to me that I could have played it on, I would be pretty pissed.
Or vice versa.
Tough tip But
I mean, honestly, that's like, I mean, that's true for a lot of games, though.
What are you talking about?
'Cause if it comes out day and date for PC and PlayStation 5,
But if it's made exclusive, like if it's an exclusive for that console.
but I mean, that's a reality for a lot of people, though. Like a lot of people buy consoles because they don't want to deal with PCs and having to.
Yeah, but
the
if
thing
you
is,
but you already
Stonehenge,
have one,
the-
then you don't have to worry about buying a console. Like that's
Yeah,
why I'll
but
never buy an
right,
Xbox
which-
because I have a PC. Like
Right, exactly, and that's a lot of people. A lot of people prefer to just have their PC rather than buy a console.
right, but
Right.
if I
You know
bought
that,
one
no
thinking,
edge.
but if I bought one in the knowledge of like Sony has always done this, and then all of a sudden they decide to change their mind out of the blue in the middle where the console is hard to get, all that kind of stuff, and they say, oh, we're doing it day and date with PC, I'd be pretty pissed if I spent $500 because I just wasted my money.
You know, the thing with that,
You could
though,
just
Mitch,
resell it
is,
for 800 though and make some money. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
also, what are you gonna do if that happens to you? It's like, you're gonna go complain to Sony? They're just like, no, you already bought the system. We already got paid. We're
Oh no,
fine."
I'll just be upset for sure, and I think it hurts the consumer, and I think my thought of them as a company will be less, and therefore I trust them less on to be, to do the right thing in certain regards,
Well, I mean, it's hard to make the argument that it's not the right thing. Opening the game up to another market and a whole bunch of other people.
But it's not like they're not. They're opening it 3 years later when.
No, but they could change their mind tomorrow, and some people will be upset about it, but most people will be happy about it.
Well, I mean, I technically don't have one right now, so I would be okay with it because I have a PC. But if I just bought one right now and they did it, I'd be pretty pissed. I'd be pretty
I
pissed.
was trying to say
No.
earlier though that I actually
No more.
No
more.
I literally had two friends that are primarily PC gamers actually get PlayStation 5s in the last couple of months. And it was specifically because they wanted to play Horizon 2 when that comes out, which I thought was interesting.
Which is what they want. That's their strategy working perfectly.
And that's why they're doing it.
That's anecdotal evidence, but still, it still stands as. I
Well,
had a friend,
it's not just
at
his,
work
but
who-
like I know someone else that's done it too. Like there's
Okay. Right.
The
So
return rate has been pretty high in regards to that.
sure.
It's not been proven to be statistically significant, but anecdotal evidence leans towards it working.
Yeah.
Because it's a good idea.
Wonderful evidence because it's my friend, so it's the only evidence that matters.
Yeah, that and any of the news articles on Facebook. Right, Matt, pay attention.
I will try. I'm currently putting out a fire at work, but
Oh man, multitasking.
Are you the
Call the
designated
fire
warden
department.
as well?
Yeah, I was gonna say call the fire department. What are you doing?
Yes.
well, no,
You
it's
have-
not
you-
real. It's not a real fire.
You evacuate the building, make sure that
Right.
everyone is in the muster station. You do the roll call.
Wait,
you
is
do
this
roll
your
call?
elaborate Halloween costume?
IT professional from home.
Right, okay, so
Wow,
is everyone
that is
in the
really
muster
obscure,
Okay.
by the way.
station?
No one's gonna know what your Halloween costume is.
Right, Matt. Why has the threat of blizzard-like conditions forced a virtual event to go on indefinite hold?
Is this? Well, it's obviously about Activision Blizzard, right?
Yes, but specifically
they're-
what?
I don't know. I know that a bunch of people left and started a new studio, and
Nope.
Kotaku was
Nope.
mad that the
Nope.
only female employee was a dog.
Nope.
But
Con.
It should have
Con.
been. No.
BlizzCon
Right, you-
is going digital only until they resolve their
Nope.
workplace issues.
Do you want to help him some
No.
more, Mitch?
Yeah, go for it, Mitch.
Canceled.
Oh, it's
It-
entirely
yeah.
cancelled.
So even the virtual BlizzCon event has been put on indefinite hold.
Wow, why?
well,
Why?
I'm
Well,
guessing-
why?
I mean-
I'm guessing because people have been inappropriately touching people. That's not. They got their
Well,
own
no,
shit.
no.
They don't
Yeah,
need
but
a
the
whole.
con is
That
mainly
ain't
for
even the reason.
fans.
But hold on. It may be for the fans, but let's not forget there was a video of a fan asking a certain question about why do female characters all look like sex slaves, and their answer was, Or no, why do they all look like
Victoria's Secret models.
Yeah, or Playboy models. Sorry, it was Playboy. Was it Victoria's Secret or Playboy? Anyways, Victoria's Secret models. And then they're like, oh, well, which ones haven't we done yet? Which one should we do? Like,
it's very
it would
snarky.
be so even with like. So with what's going on and what they have said at their cons before, why would you not cancel this? Like, seriously, it is asking for a bad thing to happen, especially if you put the wrong person out there when they're still having internal investigations on who did misdoings. Like, of course you would cancel. Oh my god.
Well, I would honestly say though that it goes a bit deeper than that. I don't, because the thing is that there's been all of this controversy, but Blizzard fans still love most of the developers that are there. But the thing is that developers haven't done anything for the fans recently. Like World of Warcraft is a mess. Everybody's annoyed with the direction they're taking Overwatch 2 in. Diablo is not ready, so everybody's angry about that. Like they could literally just turn up there.
Even the mobile game isn't ready.
Yeah, exactly. Like they.
So. All it would take is for them to have one open forum, and it will just descend into chaos. And then someone would have to show up to Square Enix and try and kill the chaos, and then that would end up being its whole different thing.
Plus, on top of that, if it was even if it one open forum, someone might ask questions about the investigation and how that has influenced their games. And then what's the headline? The headline is fans questioning Blizzard and their practices and influencing in their games, like all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not the headline they want right now. Right now, they just need. Right now, if I was the PR person, you need to hide and hide away while you investigate, release the investigation, and then figure out what you're going to do as a business strategy going forward. Which sounds like Blizzard is going to go away, and it's just going to be Activision, and Blizzard is just not going to exist because the name is tarnished. In their way, in the public perception, not necessarily in the gaming public perception in regards to the name quality.
What else comedic is, or not comedic, but as a comedic result of them doing something good in response to the numerous allegations against an individual has happened in Overwatch.
Oh, they changed the character of McCree. They changed his name, and didn't they? They made him. They changed his race as well. I'm pretty sure. But
I don't know about that. They've changed the name, but apparently they've changed the name to a very similar name of a porn star.
Oh, jeez.
Which porn star?
Well, the name they've changed it to is Cole Cassidy.
Oh,
and
God.
Apparently that's very similar to a porn star.
Alliteration. Porn stars love alliteration.
Which, honestly, if they want to win some public perception right now, because they have so much freaking money, which I don't know if that's going to be one of your questions, McWomble, I might have already answered it for you, which is Bobby Kotick is taking a $61,000 salary for the remainder of the time until Activision Blizzard is fixed. But
it's not, but I'll give you an extra point for the expansion on the answer.
Okay.
Was it Bobby isn't giving up his bonuses though?
No, he's not. He's just giving up the salary. He's still going to get his millions.
He's such a generous guy. He's going to get salary, but not.
But like, so what he should take
six-figure bonuses.
So what he should do
8-figure bonuses.
So what he should take
Jesus Christ.
So what they should do is at least take the salary money, and they should have announced when he did that and donated it to helping people that have been under any kind of sexual assault, abuse, any nonprofits that help towards those kind of things, or even something like the Trevor Project that help like youth, LGBT youth when they deal with different situations. Like, there's many organizations. They could have had a better way of handling it, and I still think they're fumbling right now. It is just awful.
What else did Activision Blizzard try to do this month?
Sorry. Could I just say how weird it is that the statement that they issued in response to that with Bobby Kotick? It's just like he said, "Yes, I'm refusing to get paid this amount until the company fixes its issues." It's like, says the one guy who can fix the issues as the CEO of the company. Like,
Yeah, it's
like-
it's like I'm responsible for this, so I'm not gonna pay
Oh,
myself until I
Let's
fix
wait.
this. But I'm not the problem; it's them.
Well, I
Hilarious.
pay other people to fix these problems for me. But what else did Activision Blizzard try to do this month?
I don't know.
Is it about them renaming Vicarious Visions? Because now
No, it's not
after
about that.
Blizzard.
They tried to have the California lawsuit against them thrown out,
Oh, that's
right.
right.
and it didn't work.
Of course,
It got rejected by the judge.
because the judge is smarter than that.
Outsize their mouth.
Because can anyone tell me why they tried to get the case thrown out?
Like their reasoning in court they used, or the reasoning that
Either's fine. What it was the two lawyers for California worked on the federal case against Activision Blizzard that was settled for $18 million. Yes, $18 million. Oof.
Wow.
Mega bucks.
half his bonus, right?
Well, less than that. And so they argued that there was a conflict of interest. Those two lawyers have stepped down from the case, and they've appointed two new lawyers. And Activision Blizzard said that because those two lawyers who worked on the federal case that has now been settled were using privileged information against them in the California suit, and that constituted a conflict of interest, and the case should be thrown out. And the judge said, "Isn't you coming here to basically ask for us to throw the case out because you settled out of court with the federal court, also a conflict of interest?" And they went,
We dumb.
and then everyone's moved on, but the California lawsuit is still going ahead. Good. Right, Mitch, coming back to you. Who is patently setting up a voting system for online trolls?
I do not know. This one I have no idea. No Google searching Burkoff.
It could be EA Games. I remember
Just messing with you.
hearing something
not
about
related
EA
to that.
setting up some sort of system for eliminating trolls, not trolls, well, just bad users in video games. It might be EA. I don't know.
Not quite.
Twitch?
It's something to do with it's PlayStation. PlayStation filed a patent for software that will allow people watching games or playing games to vote other people off.
Oh, I like that.
Well, because you can vote me off every time. So this is going to... Can anyone else not see this piece of software being abused?
Yes.
In certain ways,
It's
yes.
a terrible idea.
Well, it depends on its implementation. Like in basics, it could work and it couldn't work. It's all dependent on the implementation of the software and how many down clicks does it take to get someone kicked off. Does the software even pop up the prompts when they maybe hear aversive language in the speaking? Like, there's a lot of things there's a lot of X factors. Like, this could be good and this could be bad. We don't know.
It could also be... Well, not only could it be weaponized in that way, so if you don't like a certain person because of whatever reason, you could lobby against them being part of a game, or it could be monetized. You could pay money to keep someone on, or pay money to kick someone off. In the same way that subs are sometimes used, and bits are used on Twitch, why not monetize keeping your favorite player in a game?
Yeah.
I think it's ironic that a system set up to rid a space of trolls could actually be taken over by the trolls to abuse it. So, like,
Well, look at what
they'll
happened
find a way,
with-
right?
Look at what happened with Twitch and hate raids. Apparently, there was, within the Twitch development team, it was mentioned to the management that raids could be used in this way, and they said, "Don't care, roll it out." So if that's happening already, you're already getting trolls weaponizing things on Twitch. You will end up with this being weaponized.
Yeah, and you really can't trust Sony to implement something properly. Maybe on the third go around, but you know.
Hello, this is Matt. Matt's actually moonlighting at the moment. He's on his dating hotline. You too can call Matt and he can talk sexy to you for the small fee of $1.99 a minute.
No, it's a small fee of 1 beer per hour.
Get through.
Evan, coming to you for the last question.
Oh, sorry. Before you move on to answer this last one, is there's always many patents that are filed, not necessarily implemented. So this could just be hogwash.
But they've had a lot of interesting patents over the years.
Yeah, that they never used.
Yeah.
So this could be nothing. This could be just them patenting it so they can research it and see if it's something they would like to pursue. Because just like
What, like mini games and loading screens?
Yeah.
I wish there was more mini games and loading screens, but there's not any loading screens anymore.
Well, there's one company that owns the patent of that. I think it's Bandai Namco or somebody.
Yeah, and there's people use patents as well so that other people can't.
Yep.
And Matt, I think Evan's trying to phone you for some sexy chat time. By the looks of things.
Yeah,
I can go for it.
I'm trying to dial get Burke off, but it's busy.
No, he's trying to dial Mario.
Yeah.
He's lonely.
So Evan, last question. Who's had to find a different team to play with because someone took their ball away?
Different team to play with. Is this an Amy Hennig story?
No. Think as far away from anything to do with Amy Hennig and what she would work on.
Who is a big baby and walked away from a situation?
What round ball game do you like?
FIFA.
Oh, yeah, so EA was like, wait a minute, we're paying FIFA like $150 million a year for the FIFA name. We don't need you guys anymore. We make billions. Fuck off. We're gonna rebrand it to like EA Football Esports something or
Bro,
other,
no, it's
right?
actually hurting my eyes. You're completely backwards.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that's what the story was. It's the
FIFA
other way around.
asked for more money because they were making so much money.
And then EA said fuck
Right.
off or what?
Liam, would you like to elaborate?
So they've been paying FIFA a certain percentile, like for years, to use the FIFA name and branding on their football games. UK.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, just say football or soccer, whatever. Yeah, but basically FIFA are now like, no, I think they wanted like 50% more than they were charging them, like over all of this time.
They want FIFA want, wait for it, strap yourselves in, $1 billion a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, just
a bit more than 50% more.
Just make it £1 billion.
Wasn't it $1 billion every 4 years?
No. They
Oh
want
my
$1
Jesus.
billion a year.
That's insane.
How much is EA actually making off of it? Do we know?
$1.62 billion just from FIFA transactions within FIFA.
Not
so
the
that
game
doesn't
sales.
account for the sale
That's
cost.
not a. I mean, what FIFA wants is more than a 60-40.
No, not necessarily, because
honey?
usually the transaction would be based off of game sales, not necessarily transactions. So
Well, I think they just need
so
to.
the
I
fact
think they
that
just need to renegotiate the contract is all.
yeah, probably just saying
wait
like
a minute.
they probably should
How was I off
renegotiate
on this?
because you said that that EA wants more money. This is FIFA that wants more money.
I didn't say EA wants more money.
Yeah, you did.
I said they're paying.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I said I did.
Yeah.
that's because
Argue. I know.
I've been
I know
drinking too
it's-
much.
I know it's
No, what?
10 past 1 in the morning where
You
are,
basically
but
said
I do-
EA doesn't care, so they basically would say we don't want to pay you anymore, so
Yeah,
we're
we don't
going
want
to
to pay
change
you
the
anymore.
So we're going
and
to
that wasn't
change the
thing.
name.
It was FIFA renegotiating the terms of
their
the
contract.
licensing agreement.
Because then they can't do anything. Then they have to make a generic football game, which no one's going to buy.
What's the generic football
That's what I was
title that
fucking
they're going to
talking
use?
about. I don't know. EA football, esports, something.
EA fucking football, EA fucking esports. He's correct. Well done. I don't know how you managed to get that.
Yeah,
I believe that's called pulling it out.
I knew I had it in me.
It's EA Soccer FC. Catchy.
That's terrible.
Ah,
It reminds me of back in the day. There used to be like certain players that they couldn't include in sports games, so then they would make these generic non-players that had all the exact same stats and the same jersey
Likeness,
number.
but they were just called Ronaldo as opposed to Ronaldo.
Yeah, they do that. They do that with Tennis World Tour right now because technically the so tennis is not like FIFA. They actually are individualized. You have don't you dare say such a thing in front of me. No, that technically. So what happens is they're not under the umbrella. They don't have like a players association for tennis. So like they have to pay each player individually to get them into the game. So there's only so many players you can have in a tennis game because you have to pay every single person individually and they each have their own cost. So like if you want someone like Roger Federer, it's going to cost more than it is going to be if you take like the number 50th player in the world. So like it's a huge difference.
If you take the British #1 Cameron Norrie, he's not going to cost anywhere near as much as Rafa Nadal, who can't actually play tennis anymore because his knees are fucked.
But he's made a lot of money doing it.
Yeah. So, would anyone hazard a guess as to why the corrupt dictatorial institution that is FIFA maybe decided that they wanted to renegotiate the license for a massive increase in money?
I assumed it was because of EA having like record net profits from FIFA, like in their financial call.
Is it because
I
FIFA
see.
did they lose money during the pandemic that need to make up for?
It's nearly right. It's because they're a bunch of greedy, corrupt bastards.
Okay, well, the better answer.
So in
It's like I
FIFA
just found it funny that this is like the only time you can ever be sympathetic for EA's plight. Like, it's just brilliant. Savor the moment. It tastes fantastic.
I don't think that's going to happen with me. So FIFA's statement said they want more diversity in the portfolio of games and more control over their IP, which basically means you're going to have way more mobile games with gambling associated with them and microtransactions. Because why take a regular income from one developer when you can hive it off to hundreds of them? When you look at what's happening with mobile gaming and mobile gambling, because the contract that they had with EA was very, very restrictive. So only EA could use the license and everything that came with it. Now they've opened all that up. They've opened the floodgates for any mobile developer to bid to them to use the license.
Crazy part is if once they do that, and if this does happen, guess who's going to come for them? The NFL for their license and ask for more money, and also ask to transfer their stuff because the NFL is starting to get into gambling as well. And so not every state does it, but it's starting to be in more and more states. So I think the NFL is going to want, especially as they expand their market to worldwide, I think post-pandemic we'll see the NFL. There's rumors they were going to go play a game in China. There was a rumor they were going to go play a game in Switzerland. Like there was a lot of.
They've confirmed 2 games in Germany.
Yep. So
for next season.
Yeah.
So you're going to have 2 games in London, 2 games in Germany next year.
So
as much as I don't follow the NFL, I do feel like it could be a global sport. A lot of people are, enjoy it enough that
it'll be fascinating how it works when it becomes a global sport because of time zones and how few games there are and how much time there is in the season. How does the NFL
work for you in Japan?
I'll give you a little story.
I don't honestly care. I just thought I'd ask to be polite. Right, so Matt.
Wait. I'll tell you a story. It has to do with Germany. It has to do with Germany.
It has to do with Germany.
I was walking home from work one day before COVID times, and there's a guy walking past me with 3 foreigners walking past me. One had a Green Bay Packers shirt on. They were speaking German. And I said, "Hey, nice shirt." And like his friend nudged me. He's like, "Oh, that guy said you had a nice shirt." And then we had a little brief conversation about how great the Green Bay Packers are. And he was from Germany.
Did that actually happen, or are you just doing that to troll Mitch?
No, that totally happened. It must have been like 2019.
I literally thought his story was going to be, I was walking by one day and I saw a map of Germany, and there's Germany.
Just like the worst story ever. No, that actually happened. Yeah, pre-COVID times.
Matt, you'll appreciate this. So when the first NFL game came to be played at Wembley in the UK, I looked at some of the comments online that people were talking about from the States. There were some reasoned ones, and then I went to Fox Sports website. Where someone said, anyone who steals an NFL game from US fans for profit is a communist.
What?
Doesn't make any sense.
Okay. No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Because to me that sounds like they're a capitalist.
Yeah, I know. That's why I made it fun.
Well, sorry. And the only other reason why I said that specific quote, because I also am hearing from the NFL that they are talking about trying to, because right now DirecTV owns Sunday Ticket, and that is about to expire. So there's renegotiations happening right now because the NFL wants to be able to stream every single game to everyone's home, and DirecTV is a limiter to that. So they can't, if DirecTV has full ownership, you have to have DirecTV, and not everyone can get it. So there's negotiations potentially that that DirecTV would own the rights on your television through satellite, but streaming would go through another servicer. So you may be able to stream every NFL game through another service provider through a Sunday Ticket style, which is, heck yes, I'm down. I'd pay for that.
Well, I currently do pay for that, and I still run into difficulties with blackout games, which makes no sense because there is no real opportunity for me to buy a ticket and go to America to watch the game, which was the whole point of the blackouts. And it makes no sense in a streaming world. So what we're basically saying is EA got screwed by FIFA. FIFA are a bunch of corrupt, greedy bastards who are going to make squillions out of this. And EA may be getting double fucked then by the NFL when they realise that what FIFA have done. And I don't know what's going to happen to EA after that.
Sorry, just trying to imagine Roger Goodell.
Oh no, they might have to make more single-player games.
Fucking all of EA.
I think honestly, I think it's just a matter of them sitting in a room and quantifying, like what exactly it is that people are buying on these, in Ultimate Team and whatnot, and how that revenue gets split.
I think they're going to ask for a percentage. I think they're going to ask for a total profit percentage, being like how much you make of revenue.
I think it's more posturing than it is an actual dollar amount. I don't think they really care if they get that hard 1 billion number. I think it's just a matter of, hey, we're making a stink about this because when we initially entered into this deal, you guys made games that came out yearly. People bought those games, and that was it. But now you have all these other mechanics that are built in that generate money above and beyond the actual unit sales.
So, Matt, are you saying that the avarice of EA's greed has come back to haunt them.
No, I don't know if I'm saying that. I just, I think FIFA's just finally wised up to the way that the market actually works.
Well, I think, so now they've got some new people in who aren't old men in suits giving out World Cups to corrupt countries and totalitarian despot governments.
Give me time.
Well, the next World Cup is in Qatar, for fuck's sake. I mean, Jesus. In the summer.
And Keith's not an imperialist.
Which it might not even be ready in time.
Well, with the slave labour that they're using to build the stadium, it probably is.
Isn't even safe. Like, one team walks out and half of the construction falls.
Well, so FIFA gave the World Cup to the Qataris, who are known for, like the Saudis who bought Newcastle United recently, for human rights violations. They have been confiscating the passports of migrant workers who've been working on building the stadia and won't give them back. And FIFA are fine with this.
Common story.
It's crazy. Is that our end on that note?
Can I just say one final thing? I'm glad to be back. Thank you very much for making me feel so warmly welcomed back, even though you didn't.
What? I asked how you were doing.
Except for Mitch.
Thank you. It's my job.
Evan, Green Bay fluked one, but better lucky than good, eh? Fuck EA.
And then stay tuned if you are on stream right now. I will be back in a few minutes playing Tomb Raider with maybe some of these fellas hanging out for a bit.
How is that Mario doll walking?
And on that note,
he's alive.
Evan's inappropriately touching Mary.
It's my own brother. Holy shit! This is gross.
no, we're still on.
Quite. Yeah, but almost. We're getting there.
And we out.
All right, I gotta make a phone call.